What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Commander's Lair. I hope you are having a great day. It is, of course, Joey here with the deck tech. Today I'll be showing you my $75 Reaper King budget deck tech. This is a Changeling Tribal deck tech. And just real quick, I want to thank you guys all so much for our 100 subscribers. It really means a lot. The support is incredible. And this was requested by subscriber Georgian Rossio, who wanted to see a tribal deck tech with Reaper King on a $50 budget. And so sorry if this is wrong. The euro conversion to was $75 on Google. I hope that is correct. Otherwise, though, I did have some troubles with this video, and my whole browser deleted everything, so I'm sorry if the timing and stuff is wrong, because it might be a little bit off in this video. But anyway, just forgetting that, go straight into what the deck is doing. So Reaper King is 2, and also it's 2 generic and one of each WBRURG color, so you can either pay one of either color or of any color, or 2 generic to cast it, and it does a 6/6 Scarecrow. And other Scarecrows you control get +1/+1, and whenever another Scarecrow ETBs, destroy target permanent. So we're going to be playing lots of Changelings that trigger that ability, and lots of other abilities that care about creature types. Next up we have the Changeling, so of course we are playing lots of Changeling to trigger Reaper King and make sure that we can play all of his effects and stuff. So Firebelly Changeling is 1 and a red for a 1/1, shapeshifter with Changeling, and it has pay of red, and it's fire breathing to +1/+0 until end of turn. And basically what we're going to be doing that is, playing lots of Changelings so they trigger, and they, those effects that require, a specific creature type, and these account for any creature types that they trigger off each of them. Impostor of the 6 Pride is a great example. It's 1 and a white for a 3/1, shapeshifter with Changeling. So basically Changeling means it has every creature type. And that's exactly what Changeling does. So the card is every creature type, so it triggers all those abilities. If something cares about, a dog, it'll trigger off a dog entry. If it cares about a dragon, this will count as a dragon. All of those. And then Graveshift is another great example. So it's 3 and a black for a 2/2 with Changeling. When it ETBs, you return target creature card from graveyard to the hand. So some extra value there. Irregular Cohorts, 2 white for a 2/2. When it enters, you get another 2/2, so you get 2 triggers, 2 bodies on the board to trigger all those effects. Mirror Entity is the best example though. It's 2 and white for a 1/1 Changeling, and it has pay X. Creatures you control become XX and gain all creature types in line of turn. And obviously what this is doing is it's going to bumping them all up, because all our creatures are very low power and toughness, like Mirror Entity. So it's going to make them massive, so we can easy punch through for the win with some really big creatures for just a small mana investment. So as always, I'm going to run through some of the interesting ways that this deck is drawing cards and creating mana. So obviously, as they're all creature types, Gemhide Sliver is going to make all of our creatures tap to add 1 mana of any color or mana pool, so turn them all into mana dogs, which is good because we are playing lots of those cheap costed creatures, so it's really nice value there. But for example, like Woodland Changer, which is really small, it's going to be a 2 mana mana dog, as well as all the other cards. Harabaz Druid's great. It's 1 and a green for a 0/1. It's going to tap and add X mana of any one color to your mana pool by X number of allies you control. So obviously this is incredible because it's kind of count all of our creatures, not just those allies, which is great. And then Kaladeya Stone is a card that I include in every single 5-color deck. It's 2 generic for an artifact. When it ETBs, you draw a card, so that's nice, not very relevant though. What it matters is it has 5 and tap, sack it, and add WBRURG to your mana pool. So this is going to fix us for our commander, make sure that no matter what, as soon as we have 5 mana on the board, we're casting our commander, because I'm sure you guys have played those Dimir decks, where you can't even manage to get blue mana on the table. So this fixing is really important. It's going to make sure that Reaper King comes out ASAP. It's really great fixing, and I think it probably should go in literally every single 5-color deck that has your commander with a WBRURG casting cost. So coming up next, there are some great ways to draw cards in this deck. So I think great ways: Airborne Aid, Distant Melody, and Seagate Lawmaster. So they're going to draw us a card for each creature, each Changeling in play, basically, all through different kinds of effects, but they're going to be doing the same thing. Airborne Aid and Distant Melody are only a 1-shot for 4 mana, but Seagate Lawmaster is reusable. So Airborne Aid is 3 and a blue and has sorcery. Draw a card for each bird in play. Distant Melody is 3 and a blue for a sorcery. Choose a creature type, draw a card for each permanent you control of that type. And Seagate Lawmaster is 4 and a blue for a 1/3 with tap, draw a card for each ally you control. So they're going to be doing the same thing. For example, Seagate Lawmaster, we're going to tap, draw a card for each ally. Obviously, those allies count as all our Changelings. So let's say we have 5 Changelings now, we're going to tap it to draw 6 cards for the Changeling and for Seagate Lawmaster. Same with the other ones, you're going to be drawing heaps. And then Unesh Crysphinx Sovereign is 4 blue for a 4/4 with flying. Sphinx spells you cast cost 2 less to cast, so all those Changelings will be reduced by 2. So it's going to ramp us on everything. And it has whenever Unesh or another Sphinx ETBs under your control, reveal the top 4 cards of your library, and opponent separates those into 2 piles. Put one into your hand and the other in your graveyard. So it's going to be a mini fact or fiction effect, and you can draw us cards just by playing Changelings, which is really great for us. Next up, I'm going to be discussing some of those value pieces. So Eerie Interlude is a great one. It's 2 and white for an instant. Exile any number of target creatures you control. Return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So obviously this is great because we can exile any number of our changelings. Let's say we exiled, 8 changelings, right? So we're going to exile them all, we're going to return to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. And then because of Reaper King, they're going to trigger, and they're going to blow up a permanent for each of them, which is incredible, obviously, because it's really, great effect just blowing something up. And then the Barn's going to make this even better. It's 1 and a blue for a 2/1. If a wizard ET being under your control causes a triggered ability to a permanent you can of a permanent you control to trigger, it triggers an additional time, so it's going to double up those triggers. So instead of blowing up 1 thing, it's going to blow up 2. So for those 6 changelings we flickered, right, instead of blowing up 6, it's going to blow up 12 things, which is going to be a pseudo board wipe, obviously. So we got that Lijaro Glade Warden or that Moonglove Changeling. Either way, they're going to be re-entering, blowing up 2 permanents with this combo on the board, or even just 1 with either of them. Or, either they work either well standalone in the deck is a great removal piece in combination with our commander. And of course, the best part of this deck is being able to pick your own payoffs. So I've just chosen someone that I think that are good, but there are heaps you can use. So for example, Cloud Treader Sliver is red and a white, so a Boros mana for a 1/1 Sliver. Sliver creatures you control have flying and haste, so it's going to give all of our changelings flying and haste. So whether we boost them up with one of the other creatures or just play them, we're going to get massive. Payoffs bidding is 3 back for a sorcery. Each player chooses a creature type. Each player returns all creatures of the chosen type from his or her graveyard to play. So let's say we had 8 changelings in the graveyard. We can pick anything. We can pick birds, dogs, whatever we like, and it's going to return them all, and it's going to basically bump them up. And let's say Lathless was out, which is 4 red for a 6/6 flying. Whenever the non-token dragon ETB is under your control, create a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying, and it has 1/1 and a red dragons you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. So it's going to be a buff effect there, buff our whole board. But also what's going to happen is, say we return those 8 cards of Payoffs bidding, they're all going to create 5/5 dragons alongside with them. So every time we cast a changeling, it's going to be getting out a 5/5 as well. So whether we cast that 2-mana changeling, we're going to get a 5/5, which is just an incredible effect. I think Lathless is definitely worth being in the deck. And then there are really in any amount of payoffs, right? You can play any that you like. These are just my personal favorites. 4 of the Coalition is 2 and a black for a 2/2. When it ETBs, you may search your library for a pirate, and so that's a nice way, to get a pirate, any changeling. But what we're playing for is that whenever another pirate ETBs under your control, each opponent loses 1 life. So just either it's 1 shot, or say we cast that Patriarch's Bidding, and return, let's say 8. We're going to do 8 damage to all our opponents, or just over the course of the game, playing heaps is going to be really nice. And then Soulcatcher's Airy is 1 and a white. Whenever a bird is put into graveyard from play, put a feather counter on Soulcatcher's Airy, and then all birds get +1/+1 for each feather counter on Soulcatcher's Airy. So just over the game, as our creatures die, which they will in a creature-heavy deck, we can basically bump this up. It's that Woodland Changeling again, or any other creature. When they die, we can put that 1/1. We can put the feather counter on it, and then pump them all up with those 1/1 counters to make them really huge by the end of the game. Easy way to pump through for the win, especially if we turn them all with Patriarch's Bidding. And then Elven Ambush is 3 and a green for an instant. Create a 1/1 green elf creature green elf warrior creature token for each elf you control. So we're going to have heaps of creatures in the battlefield that can trigger this and win the game for us through that. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone for watching. I'm really sorry for how this video is going to be a bit scuffed. I know I've tried my best. I just want to get this video out as soon as possible. It has been really messed up. I hope you guys still like it though. Obviously the premise is still there. You can still see what the deck is doing. Make sure if you do like it to leave a like down below, subscribe if you want to see more, comment your thoughts, any ideas you have for other decks, and I'll thank you guys all so much, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you for 100 subscribers, and bye.